Hello everyone, this is King Vegeta coming to you from my room. This is the first time I'm making a video like this, so hi, I hope all of y'all are doing well. Now, as you've seen from the title of today's video, I'm going to talk about my journey to getting good at Tekken. And this is not something that can just happen overnight. It is indeed a journey, and so I would like to cover it from beginning up until this point. Because at the end of the day, in a competitive environment, I don't believe this journey ever ends. But before I start from the beginning, let me talk about where I am now. And to do that, I'll talk about my most recent tournament results. This past Saturday, we had a 64-man dojo, where I ended up placing 7th. Now, I wasn't entirely happy with my performance, especially near the end, but these things happen, and it is what it is. However, 2 weeks before this tournament, we had Comic-Con Red Bull Golden Letters in Cape Town. I was fortunate enough to be able to go. I did have to drive with my friends 1,500 kilometers, which is approximately just less than 1,000 miles. But yeah, it was a grand old time, and I ended up coming 3rd. Quite honestly, that's the result I'm most proud of, because it's not only people in my local area, but it's people literally from around the country that ended up going to Comic-Con to try qualify for the finals and compete. In any case, I am of the belief that it is fair for me to say I am one of the best Tekken players in the country, but let's go back and see what it took to get me to where I am now. So this all started in 2004. My brother had just gotten a PS2 for his birthday, and it came with 3 games. Ratchet & Clank, Need for Speed Underground 2, and Tekken Tag Tournament. So of course, nothing special happened while I was playing Tekken Tag, aside from it being my introduction to Tekken. And I remember, because there's an age gap between me and my brother, I was like 4 and he was, what, 12, 13? He was always winning, right? And he would always win with Jin, so I would sort of gravitate towards playing Jin because I thought, oh hey, it must be the character, right? But in any case, I remember we went through the move list and we saw this input: forward, star, down, down, forward, and square. And we kept trying, and then he figured it out and he showed me how to do it, and that was the first time I did a Thunder God Fist. It was pretty cool. Moving forward 2 years, in 2006, I moved to a different province and I met one of my closest friends. Now, it was kind of funny because we became friends and then found out after the fact, oh, you like Tekken? I also like Tekken. Let's play Tekken. I would go to his house, we'd play Tekken 4, and then when he bought, when his parents bought him Tekken 5, go to his house, we play Tekken 5. And this carried on for like another 2 years before I moved back to this province that I'm in now. And yeah, but we would still visit each other, and he would be the one to get new Tekken games. He was the first of us to get Tekken 6, and he was the first of us to get Tag 2. It was always a blast playing these games. Now, of course, me and my homie, we would just play this game. We had no idea what frames were. We had no idea what punishment was. We kind of gained an intuition. Like, for instance, when I picked Jin and I did median line destruction, or his 1+2, then I would notice that sometimes he's not able to block it. And I kind of gained an intuition for block punishment. And of course, when you see someone whiffs a move, you throw out like a quick move to punish them. And so that was that. Eventually, I ended up getting Tekken Tag 2 for myself. And I would spend a lot of time in Ghost Battle. And the cool thing about Tekken Tag 2's Ghost Battle was that they had the ghosts of pro players. And so when you get comboed in Ghost Battle, you lose basically your entire health bar. What this ended up doing was it kind of forced me to not make mistakes and pick up patterns in how the bots operate. I eventually got like 4 characters to True Tekken God in Ghost Battle, and I parked the game there. And now years later, I'm chilling on the bus going to high school one day. It's 2015, and this one dude who was new to my school, he has this little tablet and he's talking about, oh, I could beat you in Tekken 3, what. And I've actually invited him here. Like, this is footage from the past, so my hair's gonna look a bit different, but yeah, I'll explain the rest with him here.
So where do we begin? So
let me ask you a question. Who are you playing in Tekken 3 at first?
Was mainly Horang, Eddie, and Martial Law.
I remember, like, dog, you were talking some mad shit on that bus the one day.
Yeah, no, I wasn't talking shit. I knew I could back it up then, cause it was we just had this tablet, and you could do split screen, and then like Aiden could play on this side and I could play on this side, right? And basically, I was beating up the CPU and I thought I was hot shit. You know, I thought I was like, yeah. And I played against other people, like my little brother and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, well, I'm not losing in this thing. And then Aiden's like, oh, you playing Tekken? I was like, yeah, man, I'll pretty much kick your ass in this game. He's like, let's run it. Then we ran the sets. And because I was used to the controls of playing on this little tablet and he was eating shit, basically.
Yeah, I was. The thing is, I kept trying to do Jin's laser scraper or something, and I kept like dropping inputs. And there was just some point that I got irritated, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, nah, come play real Tekken. I got Tag 2 at my house. I got 2 controllers. We run it. And then we ran it.
Yeah, and then we ran it. So I remember then coming over, like, it's like, okay, so I'm going over to Aiden's house. It's the first time being at Aiden's house. I'm going to play Tekken. I haven't really played a Tekken game like in a minute because I didn't even have like this was back when I had like a PlayStation 2, but I didn't even have Tekken 5 or something. And there was even Tekken 6, which I hadn't tried. But one of the first new games, like playing a proper Tekken game, was like when you play Tekken Tag 2. And already I was like, I remember I was drawn to this character, Lars. Like Lars, I used to call him a boss boy. Yo, man, I've never seen you have so much hate for a character. Yeah.
Well, the main reason I called him a bus boy was because I was just mad that like in Tekken 5, up until Tekken 5, it was Heihachi Kazuya Jin, Heihachi Kazuya Jin, those 3. And then all of a sudden in Tekken 6, they're like, oh, let's have a new main character, and he's in love with a robot. Like, cool, man. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, nah. I remember, so then we started running those games, and then yo, man, I till this day I have PTSD from June, bro. There's no character I purely despise. I truly despise more than June. Cause like like we used to play Tekken Tag 2 and used to pick June and Unknown, and then used to always catch me with this freaking annoying strings. Like one of the strings is like, it's almost like a 5-hit string that ends in a high or something like that. I think she still even has it in Tekken 8.
2143.
Yeah, 2143. And I used to always eat it because I used to eat it where, like, let's say in Tekken Tag 2 you can switch out characters. So he'll start the string and I think I can switch out character, then I'll run into the last kick and then it's game. Yo, man, like I remember those days, like, and we played a lot of characters back then. I remember like you were playing Jin, who were you playing on Tekken Tag?
Tekken Tag, like, I would say my mains were Jun and Unknown, obviously.
Yes.
And then there was Jin, and Devil Jin was kind of like a secondary. Because like back then, I didn't even know electrics and shit.
Yeah, you didn't know electrics, bro. Or even hell sweeps. Like you're just using pretty much just the main moves. Like you used to like using when I remember like Demon Paw.
Yeah.
The Demon Paw was like to go to. Especially when I'm when I'm trying to switch out, just get Demon Pod.
Yeah.
But yeah, you play, and then you also you knew that cool combo. Remember the combo?
The great combo.
The great combo with the Devil Chanel. That combo is actually pretty cool though.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I experimented with a lot of characters. Like if you look at my PS3 data.
Yeah.
I played the Ghost Battle so much. I got Jun and Unknown to max rank, and I also got Mokujin and Combat to max rank.
Yes. Oh, dude, Combat. Yes, the one you could put your own movesets in him and stuff like that. Yes, he was annoying.
Fair and balanced. You know, Jinpachi's 1-2. You got a Demon Paw. You got didn't you even have Paul's Dead Fist in it as well? Brian's Mark Punch.
Yes, Brian's Mark Punch.
So I got lots of rubbish on that character. But the thing is, I wouldn't play those characters like seriously. Mokujin was fun because I was forced to get acquainted with all of the characters' moves. Yes, like to an extent. Like I have to know. Okay, away. I'm now playing. I knew 3 abusable moves from every character.
Yeah, because actually, I remember you saying that basically if Moko-jin came to Tekken 8, you would main him.
Yeah, nah, 100%. Because like I don't know, it's fun, it's interesting, and like I would only have to play Shaheen for like one round at a time.
Yeah, nah. But like I remember like how competitive like we definitely started to get in terms of playing Tekken Tag, because I was of course coming with the bus boy. I was whipping ass, and we started learning combos and stuff like that. Because one of the like first we were like, if we were to see ourselves we were playing back then, yes, I'm sure it would be laughable. We didn't know anything about frame data. We didn't know like to check about frame data. We just knew a couple of free moves, and we're throwing out launches like as if it's part of the neutral, you know. And definitely, and then I remember like the more we got better at it, the more we started to understand the game. Like we even found out like there's even special tag throws. I didn't know about that. Like I didn't know there was a tag throw between Jin and Lars that looks fire.
The other thing is, oh yeah, in tag 2, even though he says, oh, we were learning combos.
Yeah.
The only combo I really knew was Jin can 1 2 3 into Savage Sword.
That's it. But that's, I mean, at that time, that's pretty much all you needed. I remember I started picking up a bunch of characters and I started abusing a bunch of moves that actually forced Aiden to kind of like before we used to say that blocking low, like ending rounds with lows is cheap, or ending with grabs is cheap. Like we're like, you grabbed me, yeah, so that's so cheap. Oh, I used the low.
So basically we were just scrubs.
Well, scrubs, basically were scrubs. And then I guess then we got into Tekken 7.
Yeah.
When it came out, I remember when it dropped, one of the first few matches that we played was like Lars versus Jin.
Jin versus Lars. It's on my channel, by the way. If you want to see garbage, you can go watch that on my channel.
Yeah, like and coming into that game, like that game looked like exciting. The way the visuals and everything like that, we were quite excited for a game. So as soon as when Aiden got it, we just it was done. We were going to go and play it at his house, and oh man, I remember just how much fun it was, like just playing and testing out these new things. So I definitely started off with Lars, and I thought I was gonna carry on maining Lars. I was like, yeah, Lars is my guy, coming from Tekken Tag 2, you know. And yeah, and we played a bunch of matches, and I started learning how to really abuse lows. Like
there was this one time I was playing Jin, he was playing Law.
Yes.
He kept doing like Dragon Tail and some other rubbish.
Yo.
And like, dude, that day I got so tilted, man, that after he left my house, that was like I learned Jin's hell sweep combo. But then from there I started watching Tekken content.
Yes, I remember you are actually the first person to start looking at content, start looking at videos, and even starting to check out tutorials and stuff like that. And that actually really changed like the way we actually saw Tekken.
Bro, me versus JDCR.
Yo.
I think it's like Rev Major 2017. I think that was the name of the tournament.
Yes.
That was like, dude, the thing is, we were looking at the way we were playing, and we looked at that and we were like, yo. Yo.
And the thing is, we thought we were hot shit. That's the crazy part. Even when we were playing, because we are like at some point, at that point he kicked my ass so badly with like, because he started playing Kazuya around the time. Like first he started off with Jin, and then he went over to Kazuya. I think that's when his execution really started to be like a fact and a thing.
That was when I started watching the main man.
It is because of the main man that I was a Kazuya main for quite a long time actually. I would learn how to do electrics, waivus, KBD, counter hit, abolishing fist into perfect electric, all of that stuff. I specifically remember there was this one day I got home from high school, right? It was around 3 p.m. I loaded up Tekken 7 and I just practiced perfect electrics. Counter hit down forward 2, perfect electric. And by the time I was exhausted from practicing, the sun had set. So it was pretty crazy. And it's because of Main Man that I made the decision to buy an arcade stick. Now, here's the deal. The idea of getting an arcade stick was kind of like in my mind because whenever I saw him play, he would play on arcade stick and he would do these crazy combos. But at the same time, this PS4 controller of mine had undergone so many D-pad transplants that I had honestly just gotten sick of it. And so at the end of 2018, I got my first source of income that was like my own, and the very first thing that I spent my own money on was my arcade stick. Now, of course, when I got the arcade stick, it didn't look like this. It had a Sanwa lever, Sanwa buttons, but over time, I swapped them out for gamer fingers, a Korean lever, and of course, the artwork of my queen. But can I tell you, when I got this arcade stick, I had to relearn all of the execution that I had built up over time. It took me a month just to be able to do basic movement on command. And I'm talking dash, backdash, sidestep. I'm not even talking about anything crazy like waivus or KBD or anything like that. But the rest eventually came with time, and I got my execution back up to where it was on my PS4 controller. I will say it's because of Main Man and my decision to be a Kazuya main that I have this crazy execution with electrics and all that stuff. And also maybe the reason why I like being so flashy.
I remember how he retired Lars because basically everything I would try like with Lars in terms of from silent entry, I used to eat a perfect electric. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a perfect electric. And not just once, not just twice, consistently. Ha ha in the air. I was like, bro, there's no way I'm playing Lars anymore because this thing, I can't do shit. Like, I literally can't do anything because like I don't know how to attack him, and every time I try I get counter hits and I get like chowed with 100+ damage. So I retired Lars, and then I picked up Claudio around the same time, and Claudio worked for a bit, like because I mean he didn't know the matchup and I could like abuse a bunch of things. But I remember he got like a 20 win streak on Claudio, like
it was 17.
17?
Yeah.
Okay, 17. That's still close to 20, bro. You might have just well said 20. So I retired Claudio. I retired Claudio. The one character that really could keep up, like, was Fang. Like, I think once I picked up Fang, things started to sort of like level out a bit because that's when now we started paying attention to things like poking. We started to pay attention to things like timing, and at that time I also started watching videos like Aiden was watching, especially like Knee, because like when he showed me what Knee and JDC are that fight, I was like, whoa, I want to play like Knee. Like that guy really.
And here's the other thing, like we would dabble in other characters. Like for instance, I might pick Xiao Yu just for vibes, or I might pick like Asuka, whatever.
Yeah.
And he would pick whoever. But then the minute I hover over Kazuya, he's like, ish, okay. We're playing now.
We're playing now. Like, actually, that was the thing. Like, we'll have, like, okay, let's just warm up. We'll do random things. And then when I know it's time, like, it's really time to get sweaty. Like, I just see him hover over Kazuya. I'm like, And then I remember the first time, like, he learned how to do waifu. Oh, dude, like, where like it was a new mechanic that hadn't explored in the previous games. Like it wasn't a new mechanic to the game, but like us fighting was new to us. So I really didn't know what to do against waifu. You just come at me like I'm like, what is going on? I try to jam, I eat an electric. I try to I eat the mid, and then I used to like just be put in this blender, like this blender. And then he used to also, every time he starts his blender, this bastard used to go unga bunga.
It's specifically when I did Hell Sweep after Hell Sweep.
Yes. Unga bunga. And then that's when I think we started learning things like, I mean, he already got in the punishing part of down because I mean after like playing Kazuya, I think really helped with him learning like punishing. And
he loved to use Fang's forward 3-4.
Yes.
And like the thing is, when I tried an electric once afterwards, and I saw he didn't block it. I'm like, huh? And then afterwards, I'm like, wait, this is -15. And like I
Yes.
specifically drilled punishing that one with the electric because he threw it out too much.
Yeah, it was free. It was free.
It
Like,
was keyword was.
yeah, it was free.
Now these days he's scared to be minus 13 against.
Yeah, of course, of course. I have to catch you. So, yeah. So the punishing parts, and then now we started having to learn how to block lows, low parry, low, and then those mechanics that we didn't even think about in the previous game. Like, I think he was one of the first people to even use the low parry. Just me versus him. I was like, what the hell is this? I just see my character. I'm like, what is going on? And it's like, oh, it's called a low parry. And then I mean we also started to get into knowing that there's lows that can transition into combos. Before we just threw out raw lows,
Random lows, just
random lows, and then it's like, oh, okay, this is another part of the game. And then yeah, like I think a lot of growth did happen during like Tekken 7, but I think it really started to boom a lot more when you started to play with other people.
No, that's when you started.
Yeah, well, at least when I started playing with other people, because then I got like a little bit more experience from the game. I understood things like timing, understood what it means to pressure with frames. I started to understand frames a lot better. So because of that experience, when I came back and I fought him, like I was just on another level at that time. And then because this guy is a stubborn bastard, he literally crawled and got to a point where I'm like, shit, like we back to 17 losses.
Yeah, so basically even before we started playing online, the thing that I found interesting was how much the two of us could develop somewhat in isolation. And I say somewhat because we did watch YouTube videos, and we watched like pro level gameplay. We watched tutorials on how to play our characters more effectively.
Yeah.
But then outside of that, like when we like met other people who were somewhat good at Tekken, they would see the way that we play, and they're like, hey, yo, you guys, like, you're pretty good. You're probably like Raijin or something in Tekken 7, aren't you?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we never played ranked.
We never played ranked, bro. We just played each other. You just played each other.
We didn't even play online for the most part.
Like we only the only time we got online is towards the final days of Tekken 7.
Yeah.
And at that time, people had been playing the game and become so good, but we still hang with them. Like could still hang with them. I mean, that's when we even met people like Ghost Proxy and whatnot, and we're like, oh, there are these like heavy swingers in this game, really.
So here's the deal, like up until 2019, like we would meet up and fight and what. But then 2019 came, and then I went to go study in Pretoria, and like it wasn't easy for me because I didn't have a license, I didn't have a car, I wasn't able to like just drive up and down.
Yeah.
And like it was just convenient for me to be in res in the first place.
Yeah.
So then from that point I wasn't really playing much Tekken, and then this dude was mainly playing Tekken online. As a matter of fact, I think near the end of 2018 we pissed each other off. Or
Yes.
did I piss you off? Was I getting too competitive?
Yeah, like yeah, I think yeah. So like I remember like one of the like yeah, it's like yeah, you are getting like competitive and like a little like competitive to a point where it's like, oh, it's not as fun anymore to win. So I started to lay back like and not play as sweaty and stuff like that, because like I'm like, yo man, this is a game that me and him enjoy, and like we've grown together in this game, and I don't want it to be something that like makes us go like fuck off. You know what I mean? Like fuck off. So yeah, I remember that time when we had the conversation, and it's like, no man, bro told me like, listen, like I don't like losing. I hate losing. But like it's not a reflection on like our friendship or anything. This is just a me thing. I do want to win. And I think that actually helps a lot, like in terms of how good you get, you know. But yeah,
to an extent, but like don't be a pook. Yeah, but anyway, so then from that point, like we kind of irritated each other, and then like it was a couple of years actually that we didn't really play much Tekken.
oh yeah, I quit Tekken at some point.
Yeah.
Like, yes, I actually stopped playing.
And then you found MFs.
Oh yeah. And then yes, then I went to our varsity, and these guys are playing Tekken, and it looks atrocious. It looks. Whew.
It looks even worse than when we were playing Tag 2 for the first time.
Yes, like it was like and our homies thought they were nice at the game. They're like, yeah, nah, we'll like you're like, nah, we'll destroy you in this game. I'm like, woo, what? okay, you know what? Today I am buying this game. I bought Tekken 7. I downloaded it.
Yeah. So basically, we had Tekken 7 on my PS4.
Yes.
And then this guy somehow bought it on his PC.
Yeah, I bought it on my PC. I was like, no, I'm going to teach this guy's Tekken, because what am I watching? What is this? Like, yo, it was atrocious. I wish I could get some of that gameplay. Like, the gameplay was literally grab, random pokes, and rage arts. Like, that's random rage arts. I saw Ataha once rage art from across the screen. I was like, what is this,
Bro? At some point, I also got my own gaming PC, and then I got Tekken 7 on this thing. And then he was like, "Hey, yo, I'm in an online session. Come join."
Yeah.
And then I see these other MFs. I'm joining there. You just see first Dan, and then in comes Ghost Proxy, Tekken God Prime.
Yes.
What? I'm like, hey man. But then when I fought him there, like he was, I wouldn't say that he was like sweating or anything, but I was able to get rounds.
Yes.
But I just struggled to close it out. And then I'm like, wait, hang on. I'm actually not that bad at this game.
Yes.
And then when we were in a Discord call the one time, I remember I perfect electric this one dude.
Yes, Ragnar. Ragnar. I think it was Ragnar.
I hit a perfect electric on that dude, and he was like, "Yo." Yeah, man. And then from that point, he was mainly the one playing online, because at that point I was still studying. I still had a lot of stuff to do.
So in late 2022, when they announced Tekken 8, I was incredibly excited for this game. It looked so peak from that reveal trailer. The next year, I signed up for the closed network test, the closed beta test, and I just had a fun time playing that game, bro. And in November, when they revealed the last character on the base roster, Reina herself, I was intrigued. Because a new character? An electric? Wow!
But before that, actually, do you remember like our first tournament we went to?
Yes.
Like that was still in Tekken 7. Was that like
23 May 2023?
Yes.
That was the date.
Yeah, I remember oh, there's a tournament.
It was the 20th. It was the 20th.
20th.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we asked trying for the first time just to go compete, because we're like, okay, I think we're decently good at the game, and we're definitely above the average player. So we thought, you know what, let's just try out a tournament. I think the tournament was for 3,500.
3,000, yeah.
Yeah, 3,000, and the entry was what, 500? How much was it? How much was it?
200.
200. I forgot. It's it's been a long time ago. But yeah, so I remember playing that game just going out there and just feeling the pressure of playing with people. Like how was that experience for you?
Look, dog, even now playing in a tournament is a lot different than playing casuals or playing ranked. Cause I don't know, it feels a lot more serious. And I'll get into this later, but one of the main reasons I got better at this game was because of how many tournaments I'm playing in, whether it's online or offline. Yeah, I specifically remember this dude was like, "Hey, yo, it's your birthday, ne? I know I'm gonna forget your birthday, but here's a Tekken tournament on a week before your birthday. Let's go."
Yeah, man, and we went there. Yes,
it was a nice experience, but now knowing single elimination for 200 rand is not it.
No, it's not.
It's not it, because both times I got lucky Chloe. So yeah. Yeah. Actually, no, the first time I got lucky Chloe, and the second time I got Zafina. Yeah. Because I wasn't.
None of us actually played Zafina. Zafina was actually one of those characters.
You only started playing Zaf in Tekken 8.
Yeah, I didn't play Zaf then, because I remember that tournament. And I played decently okay on that tournament, but it was the experience, just the nerves and finding out things like input lag and I remember his first fights. Bro, you are trying so hard to land that electric.
Yeah, that was the main thing. I wasn't playing I wasn't playing the game. I was looking for landing an electric. I think it was because That's kind of like my win condition against this guy.
But the funny thing is, when Tekken 8 came out, I didn't even play Reina. I tried her out, yeah, sure, but I wasn't really seeing success with her. And I think the main reason is because I tried to play her like Kazuya, and you can only find so much success playing Reina like that. But in any case, I liked Devil Jin's design, and so I ended up maining Devil Jin at first. I had a lot of fun with that character, but for some reason, I wasn't really feeling it. I got bored at some point. I ended up switching to Lily. My justification was I never sidestep with Devil Jin, so let me play a character who's heavily reliant on sidesteps, and maybe that will help me. It did end up helping me, but then I found out that, oh hey, you actually have to step these moves to the left and those moves to the right. But Lily doesn't care. She can step whichever way she wants. And then at some point, I went back to Kazuya. I'm not sure why it took me so long to go back to him, honestly. But yeah, I was a Kazuya main for a good time. And in 2024, I had the opportunity to go to Korea. But it was only for 10 days, and I wasn't going to take my whole setup or anything like that. I wasn't going to struggle with my arcade stick. So I just figured, you know, while I'm there, let me just play Lily on keyboard, because like the PC cafes are probably only going to have keyboards there anyway. I ended up going from Fujin near the end of Bushin. I wasn't able to promote to Tekken King because I had other stuff to do. It wasn't just a vacational visit, let me say. I had to help my sister with some things. She was working there at the time. And yeah, what a country that is, by the way. Yo. But while I was in Korea, that was where I ended up buying the Korean lever and the gamer finger buttons. And then when I got home, I transplanted the lever, I transplanted the buttons, and yeah, I switched to Korean lever officially at the end of 2024. Once my arcade stick was back in working order, I went back into ranked. I got Lily to Tekken King, and there was this one instance. I'm not quite sure what it was, but I have a message that I sent to my friend. I'm very high energy right now, which is not good because it means my sleep schedule is becoming non-existent. And he says, I'm surprised you played Tekken after you said you would not. And I replied saying, Reina was calling my name. I'm not quite sure what it was, but I guess on the 7th of December 2024, that was when I became a Reina main. At that point, I was kind of flip-flopping between characters constantly, namely Lily and Kazuya, but they weren't gelling with me. And I made the decision, you know what, in order to get good at this game, I need to pick a main and I need to stick with this main. And lo and behold. So from there, I spent most of my time playing by the purple cabinets, just fighting whoever wanted to fight. And I would only go back into ranked once I felt like, okay, let's see how far I can get. And at the end of season 1, I capped out at Tekken God with Reina. Then came season 2. At the beginning of season 2, I was playing the game and things felt weird. I go online and I see, oh no, season 2 is a travesty. And so I decided I'm gonna take a break from this game, because let them bring the emergency patches, maybe things will get better. However, before I went on my break, I fought this other Reina main. His name is Mshloni, and we were pretty even. And he told me, are you on the Tekken WhatsApp group? And I said, nah. He said, send me your number, I'll add you. I'm like, is this a scam? It's like, nah, it's legit. So I sent him my number, added me to the group, and that's where I guess met the South African Tekken community for the first time. I wasn't really active in the group because I wasn't really interested in the game until the emergency patches came out a couple of weeks later. But then in May 2025, I saw, oh hey, there's this guy Iggy who's hosting a King of the Hill event. It's just an online thing. You join a lobby, winner stays on. If you reach the end, you challenge the King of the Hill in a 1st to 3, and you see who takes the throne. And I was like, you know what? let me start playing this game again. And I joined King of the Hill, and because you only have one life in a first to two, I ended up going out like as soon as I got in, but it is what it is. I still had a lot of fun. But the thing is, with King of the Hill, right, I had a lot more pressure playing in King of the Hill than I did in Ranked. And so I was like, I need to figure out how to handle this pressure. So the next week I join again, the week after I join again, the week after I would join again. And it took me until maybe my fourth King of the Hill before I was finally able to stay on for longer than one set. And that was a great feeling for me. I enjoyed that very much. And whenever I would lose, I would go back into the replays and like check what I did wrong. Whereas when I played Ranked, I typically didn't really care. You kind of just lose your points, you move on to the next game, right? Now, I'm not quite sure when this was, but there was a Sunday lunch where they hosted a small tournament to test out their stream setup. They just chose 6 random people, and I am the Y2K because he was one of the best players in the country at the time and still is. And yeah, we played in this tournament. I ended up losing my first game, so I went into the losers bracket immediately. But then I clawed my way out of losers. I say clawed my way like there were hundreds of people to fight through. But I ended up making it to grand finals. The score was 1-1, and then Y2K completely got the download on me. I couldn't do anything. And yeah, that was that. And I was like, wow, this is how the good players actually play the game. That's ridiculous, man. So from that point on, I kind of had this perception that, okay, this is the kind of thing that I need to do in order to be good at this game. And then came Nitro. I believe it was at the beginning of July. I'm not entirely sure. You must forgive me if these timelines are not entirely accurate. But Nitro was a local tournament. I ended up driving like 45 minutes to go there. And yeah, even now at this time, I didn't really know who people were. I didn't really socialize much. I was just there to play the game, basically. It was my first like major-ish tournament. I had competed in 2 tournaments in Tekken 7 before, but they were like single elimination and very few people, so I don't really count those. But yeah. Now at Nitro, I had the opportunity to play on a stage, and yeah, even at the time, people enjoyed the way that I played, like, or rather judging from the crowd's reaction to the stuff that I was doing. And that feeling is something that I just love so much. When the crowd loves what they're seeing on screen, it's great. I had 2 matches on stream. One was against Miles Rowe. The second one was against Sun Dripku. That one was pretty close. And then my 3rd match on stream was against Y2K. And now I went back in and basically the same thing happened. Except I don't think I even got a game because at that time it was still first to 2. So yeah, he beat me 2-0 and I was like, damn, it's rough out here. And then my next opponent was Mhloni, who had introduced me to the Tekken group. And yeah, I didn't really play that match that well because I wasn't quite sure how to manage my feelings around losing a game in a tournament, right? Because it can be rough if you care somewhat about winning. Like I saw who was competing and I didn't assume that I would just win, but like it still sucks to lose, right? In any case, Mhloni ended up 2-0ing me and I finished 9th. But I still had a grand old time because I took my PS3 with me and we set it up on one of the monitors and we just played Tag 2 while some of the other games were happening on stream. At Nitro, they also had a raffle to give out a monitor 1440p, and because I went there, I now have a 1440p monitor. So that was great. But I think the biggest thing that happened at Nitro was I was introduced to the captain of Battle Arena Productions and the vice captain as well. You know Shiro Yasha and Weezy La Sombra on Twitch, TikTok, and YouTube? Those ones. And yeah, this dude Shiro, I forget what exactly we were talking about, but he came up with an excuse to message me on WhatsApp. And then he did. And then he was telling me about a couple things happening within Battle Arena Productions. And he was like, you know what? Just come join the group, I'll add you. I'm like, oh wait. And then he added me to the group. Suddenly, I'm BAP King Vegeta. When he tells you that he's gonna kidnap you and put you in his team, that's what he means. But now, through these guys, I actually had a closer connection within the Tekken community, and now we knew each other. I joined the BAP Discord, and we would have lobbies up every now and then just for practice and all that stuff. And eventually there came talks of going to Cape Town Showdown, which was happening in September. But before that, Wheezy would tell me, you know, you say the funniest things in this Discord. Why don't you just start streaming? And I thought like, I already have a nice mic. Let's do it. I started streaming. And so I didn't really enjoy playing ranked. I don't find ranked to be fun, but I would play ranked every time I go on stream. And then on stream, I eventually reached God of Destruction, which was a big achievement for me because, like I said, in season 1, I capped out at Tekken God. I didn't really even believe that God of Destruction was for me, but at the end of the day, my captain was like, why aren't you GOD yet, bro? I'm like, I don't know. I guess I just don't play ranked. And then it happened. So, cool. But then, Cape Town Showdown, the biggest event, the only challenger that we host in this country. I had to make a plan to get there, and make a plan I did. So we all flew down to Cape Town, we booked an Airbnb, and there were just 8 of us in this house playing Tekken. But I think the single biggest thing about having BAP house was the opportunity to fight so many good players and offline, and they could tell you, oh, you can step this to the left, or oh, that's minus 14, but I see you're only doing a jab punish, that kind of thing. And this also happened at the Sunday lunches, mind you, but having it happen for basically a week straight, that was what really helped me ascend higher.
First we started going to those lounges, the Sunday lunches, which you can play offline with other people. And then from there, I think we started to get into like the community, because after that you're invited in groups and stuff like that, and I think you make the BAP boys. And then from there, there was what you call Cape Town Showdown, and I originally was not planning to go.
And then he looked at the international players that are going to that tournament.
Yeah, like when I saw who's going to be there, through like basically it was Y2K status. It's like who's going to be at the tournament, like Joker and like I think they said Kudan's name.
Yeah, Kudan's
was gonna be there. Book is going to be there. So I was just like, bro, there's no way I'm missing this.
Yeah, nah, like dude, imagine I got like this whole long story of like, yo dog, you know, it's very important for me to save money at this point in my life. What? This guy sees Kudan's. I'm going. And then Kudan's never even showed up.
Kudan's didn't even show up. Like, but Joker was there.
Yeah, Joker was there.
I was mainly going there for Joker. Cause
shout out to the legend, because like here's the deal, right? They nerfed Backlash, but if you weren't able to punish it before, skill issue.
Yeah, so basically then I last minute booked everything, booked flights. I didn't know where I was going to stay. Aiden hooked me up and his like friends, his Tekken friends and whatnot.
It's BAP, bro. Don't come to Tekken friends. It's BAP.
BAP, bro. I'm scared to say BAP because sometimes I say PAP.
It's the Pop Boys.
It's the Pop Boys. Let me say Pop Boys. That's actually better.
No,
come on, the pop and place, man. But yes, so I booked everything. I started to get to know people like Wheezy and whatnots, you know, and they started to really get into Tekken again. And then we went to Cape Town Showdown, and yo, man, it was actually such an amazing experience. And to see a bunch of these Tekken people come together and just,
such
dude,
nerds, bro.
Nah,
dude, like legit, in the venue, it was so strange because you're having like a proper conversation with someone.
Yeah.
And then like in the corner of their eye, they see Joker versus Farzin, and it's like, in casuals,
yeah.
They see Joker versus Farzin, and like, they just progressively ignore you. It was hella funny, man.
So yeah, then we started to play with other characters, like other people offline. Got to meet a lot of people, and I think that also helped, like in terms of Tekken, because we started to get an offline experience. Got to talk to the person while playing with the person and figuring some things out. I mean, I got to meet a bunch of people, and then of course now going to the venue and playing the tournament itself. Like I think this is like then my second tournament, or no, third tournament that I've been to, because we did that one twice, the one, and then it was the Cape Town Showdown, and I just remember like the experience of it all. Like I think I enjoyed the experience more than I enjoyed the tournament itself. And then of course BAP house was like lit. Dude. If we're talking about like it was bruh.
Yeah, hang on. Like before you go to sleep, MFs are playing Tekken. When you wake up, MFs are playing Tekken, and that's just the deal, dude. Imagine I had my own room, but I didn't care. I slept on the couch, and like I wake up, the first thing I do is like, where's my arcade stick?
Yo.
Nah, I wanted them hands, bro. I wanted them hands.
Yeah, I wanted them hands, and I mean playing like that really like helped, playing with other people playing offline, because I think that also helped like with Tim's skill, because even when I came back from Cape Town, I felt like I understand the game better than I understood it before. Like I felt like that really was like a Zenkai boost, if one would call it, right? And then that's when I think Aiden started competing more, and then of course and then I guess that's the rest of your journey after that.
Now when it comes to the tournament itself, I didn't place as well as I'd liked. I ended up coming 25th, and I lost because I wasn't adapting to what my opponent was doing. But I didn't really care that much, because at the time I still had this idea in my head that like, okay, no, I'm not that good at the game. I'm pretty decent, but yeah, sure, whatever. And then after Cape Town Showdown, Y2K came to BAP house with us, and I played him in a long set offline for I don't even know how long. I just remember that dude was basically locked out of where he was staying because his homie had things going on. So yeah, I just know that he was supposed to leave at midnight. He only ended up leaving at 4 a.m. So yeah. But yeah, we played a long set, and I kind of gained something. I wasn't conscious in my growth, but the growth was there. It was at the point where when the whole Cape Town trip was finished and we had come home, I would find myself winning matches against people that used to wash me, and matches turned into sets, and then sets turned into making it far in an online tournament, and then making it far in an online tournament turned into coming second, and then coming second turned into coming first. And that was like the big thing for me. A lot of people have told me that I really leveled up after I went to CTS. And I think it's because of that BAP house situation, and because of how much Tekken we played, and like we taught each other as we were playing. I think it's because of that we ascended higher. But even aside from that, seeing international players play in person and getting casual sets against them, I unfortunately wasn't able to get sets against Joker, Farzin, or Tetsu, but it is what it is. But just seeing this happen in front of you and hearing what other people have to say about fighting them, you gain an understanding of what it takes to become even better than the best in your region. You know what I mean? And then in November of 2025, UGC announced that they would be having Dragon Ninja Laser Eyes once again. Now, I know that name is quite weird. I think it's designed to be weird, but basically this was a pretty big tournament. It was big enough to attract people from outside of the province to come here and compete. But I attended this tournament. I went in. I wasn't really concerned with winning. I was kind of just concerned with playing as well as I could have played. So the tournament starts off. My first game is against my homie. I ended up winning 2-0 because he's not used to the tournament environment. And I kept winning up until I encountered T-Money. Now, T-Money sent me to losers and I had to fight ODB in order to make top 8, I think. I ended up beating ODB 2-1 and I made it to top 8 on the loser side. Now, when I tell you my run at Dragon Ninja Laser Eyes was an insane run, you have to believe me because I had to fight through the trenches. My first game was against my captain, Shiro Yasha. All respect to him, but goodness gravy, I don't think anyone wants to deal with Elisa. Somehow, I clutched it out. My next game, I believe, was against Kiluan, and it wasn't too bad. The main thing that was in my favor was that he was not that familiar with the Reina matchup. I ended up taking that one, but I still had to be careful. Then, it was losers semifinals. Can you guess who was waiting for me there? Yes, the same guy who sent me to losers in the first place, T-Money. Now, I don't know what happened with my mentality, but I was locked in that set. And I ended up beating the guy who sent me to losers, which felt great. Now, in losers finals, there was Jugador 1, or Jamie as we call him. And typically, when I would fight Jamie, we would sort of go back and forth, and then he gets like a download, and then he starts to win a lot, and it's like, eish. But I didn't let that affect me. I just played the game, and somehow I won 3-2. But then at this point, because of how many matches I had fought, I was gassed. I was basically completely gone. And by the time grand finals came, I wasn't playing that well in game 1 or game 2, but then game 3 I did lock in. However, I made stupid mistakes and I ended up throwing away a winning round, right? Like the round that would have won me the game. But it is what it is. I wasn't happy with how I lost, but I was happy with my overall performance in that tournament. That was astounding to me. I still that memory is quite fond in my mind. And that was the first time that I realized, you know what? These guys that are the best in my region, I can keep up with them. And I think that kind of switched my mentality to, okay, I'm actually good at the game now. But yeah, just because you're good at the game doesn't mean that you can sit by and rest. But the thing is, that's kind of what I did. And I was still winning. But then come 2026, people started kind of, I wouldn't say labbing me specifically, but they had fought me enough such that my habits became very clear to them and I needed to change something. And at this time, a very prominent Tekken 7 player by the name of Cody Banks, he started joining our voice chats. And whenever I would compete in like an online tournament or something and I wouldn't get good results, then he would be there in the voice chat and I would ask him for coaching. I would ask him like, what am I doing wrong here? What can I implement more? What should I be doing less? What? And he would tell me and I would implement that in my game plan very slowly. But it kind of made me a more holistic player. But after I came third at Golden Letters, I came to the realization that even though my performance was good, I still do feel like I'm stagnating a bit. And so I need to change my approach to certain things. It was kind of a weird experience for me to come to this realization because after Cape Town Showdown, I had come back and I had leveled up. But after Golden Letters, I come back and it feels like I've kind of gone down. I'm not quite sure why that is, but I aim to rectify that feeling so that I can come back with a clear mind and play the best Tekken that I can. My current plan right now is to lab on a scientific level and hopefully get some good content out of that, but most importantly, grow as a player. And yeah, that's me. That's my story. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see analysis videos on my previous tournaments, let me know. I'd be down to do that and also just see how I used to play versus how I play now. But other than that, I will be making more content soon. There will not be these month-long waits in between uploads. I'm going to be better. But yeah, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed. And most importantly, I hope you have a blessed week ahead of you. See you next time. Bye.
Yeah.
But away, nah. Thanks, bro.
bro. Like I swear.
Yeah. Yo, dog. I remember. Okay, wait, hang on. Just a side note. Like, I remember you told me one day, "Hey, dog, if it wasn't for you, like, I would never know what a just frame is. What is
Bro,
it?"
remember when you were telling me about just frame? I'm like, no, I think Lars has just frame. You're like,
Oh,
what?
hey, whoa,
Like,
pause.
I'm like that move when he goes forward back and like, I was like, no, that's not just frame.
And remember Ole was like, you know, ne, I used to. Oh, okay, that's Malik.
Yeah.
Remember when Ole said, you know, I used to enjoy Tekken, and then you taught me about frames, and from that point on, it was never the same.
Bro hates me till this day. Says I ruined Tekken for him. But they were playing such ass Tekken, bro. I just had to, man. I just had to.